Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another figure unboxing video. And today I am very excited because we are finally going to be cracking into the very hyped, the very sought after Saiyan Saga Vegeta. That's right, obviously we've been taking a look at a couple of figures from this Ichiban Kuji lately, and Vegeta is next on the list. Now, I know you're looking at this box before we actually hop into things here and thinking, wow, this box looks pretty normal. Incorrect. So, like, it looks like the same size as Goku's box, right? No? He's literally half the size of Goku's box. I'm not exactly sure why this is the case, but as you can see on all sides, it is, only half of Goku's size. I'm assuming it's just because, obviously, Vegeta is a lot smaller of a character than Goku, and of course Nappa that we have already taken a look at. So I guess that's why they made the box smaller, which is cool because it's like, well, A, I can grab it like this, and B, obviously they're saving a lot of cardboard by doing this, and not wasting resources also helps saving the planet, which is also fantastic, so you love to see it. I just thought I would point it out because I have quite literally never seen a box of this size before. It is quite an oddity to me, if I do say so myself. When we eventually open Gohan's figure, I will bring the box out back for both Goku and Vegeta again because his box is arguably even weirder in terms of the size. But we are going to go crack into the boy Vegeta here. There's tape on the sides. But yeah, this figure has been sought after by a ton of people. I know a lot of people on the Twitter timeline were really excited about this guy. This is another figure that was huge in the figure collecting community, and not only in the figure collecting community, but made waves outside of the figure collecting community as well. And not only that, it's interesting to me that it was Saiyan Saga Vegeta. I know, obviously, nowadays we have plenty of Dragon Ball Super figures, so it kind of makes sense that, of course, a figure of a more modern form of Vegeta would not be as hyped up. However, it is cool to see some Saiyan Saga love, and it's just interesting to me that this figure was the one that got a ton of attention. Not that I'm complaining, though, because this figure is obviously fantastic, and not only do I want it, obviously, to complete this set from the Saiyan Saga, obviously minus the $35 Cyberman, it's going to look amazing next to Nappa, and don't you worry your pretty little head, we will be definitely taking a look at that in this video. Let's go ahead and take a look at his body. It looks perfect to me. I actually don't even see, except for maybe that little white mark right there, I don't even really see any QC issues on my copy, maybe except for some, like, paint fading on the edges where the yellow should be there, but I don't think that's the worst because I've kind of come to expect that from Bandai. That is a little bit unfortunate though, the camera's not focusing on it. There we go. That little mark right there is kind of unfortunate on the shoulder pad, but other than that, no QC issues, and I'd say the sculpt looks perfect. It looks exactly like Vegeta's build. Obviously, the Saiyan armor looks fantastic as well. I think they definitely did a good job capturing that aesthetic, and I assume, yes, it stands on its own. Also very weird. You can just see, like, the paint on the inside. I've never seen a figure where it's not, like, just one solid color on the inside. Vegeta's head is huge. Holy cow. I mean, I know his head is normally giant, but this is, like, next level big. Alright, this is, like, his head is almost half the size of his body, which is so funny. I guess that makes sense for this era of Vegeta, but this is very goofy. So here's the head sculpt. Obviously, it's on this peg to be able to put it on the figure, but I would say this looks exactly like Saiyan Saga Vegeta. I think that the hair sculpt is literally perfect as well. And it's cool that it's not, like, perfect straight up. It's obviously blowing in the wind, which I believe when they actually pose up, Nappa and Vegeta, his hair is blowing in the wind of the scene. But yeah, this looks exactly like Saiyan Saga Vegeta, which is obviously what I would hope from this figure. So let's go ahead and put the head on, and then we will take a look at the accessories. It should not be too bad. I'm assuming it's literally just... Look at my long neck boy. Yep. Oh, wait. Can I get it to balance like that? Yeah, I'm the prince, baby. Alright, let's actually go ahead and slide it in there. Ooh, that is sharp. Definitely be careful. Ow, I don't know if you can see that on my hand. That actually, like, poked a hole. Not an actual hole, but it, like, put a dent to my hand. Okay, so that does go pretty far in there. I guess that peg was pretty long. And there he is all put together. Wow, that looks fantastic. I think that looks just exactly how Saiyan Saga Vegeta should look, for sure. I think that, wow, look at that angle. Oh, that is cool. That is super sick. Yeah, this figure definitely lives up to the hype, I would say. Absolutely. That looks literally perfect, bro. I don't think they could have got it better. Wow, that's awesome. I believe the sculptor of this set, which I actually talked about in the Kaioken Goku video, Takamatsu, he did a fantastic job with this figure. Obviously, we have the clear stand. Not that we really need it, because obviously, you know, you can see by his feet, right? We're standing just fine. But I will put it on, just because obviously then it's like one less thing to lose. I don't think this should be too hard. I'm assuming it's... Let's see, which way do his feet point? Probably this one, because it looks like that sort of lines up like that. Which would be our left, his right. Yes. Funny enough, wow, it actually seems like he's less stable with the stand on. He keeps falling with it on. Okay, well, maybe I won't keep it on? Did I put it on incorrectly? No? Definitely looks correct to me. Yeah, the ridges seem to be where they should be. Yeah, no, he's literally less balanced with the stand. Alright, well... Guess I'm taking off the stand then. Interesting. Yeah, literally I put him down and he's fine. I don't know. That's really weird. Alright, well, I guess we'll take the stand off. That's good to know. If you do end up purchasing this figure yourself, it seems that the stand is not the best, unfortunately. Usually, nowadays, they've been doing a lot better. I'm looking for the little hole. I guess I'll just rip it. They've been doing a lot better with stands and stuff like that for these figures. So I'm a little surprised that that one is so bad. Alright, so we have our two little accessories here. Obviously, this is the ear, which, if you didn't notice, which I actually, funny enough, like, didn't even really talk about it yet. But, if we take a look at Vegeta and bring his head up, yikes! My man is missing a hearing hole. That's right. Or maybe it's just a hole in his head right now. I don't know. But... if you stick on this little earpiece, this actually takes the place of his ear. And that goes in very, very nicely, I would say. I think that it's pretty hard to tell, especially when you're looking at the figure straight on. Obviously, when you're looking at it like this, it's pretty hard to tell that it's an additional piece. You can kind of tell when you're looking at it like this. It does look a little bit weird that it's like so jutted out, right? But it's definitely not bad. And obviously, to be able to get a scouter piece, to be able to work with this, of course, you know, you have to make some sacrifices, which I assume that most of you are probably going to be using the scouter, just like I will be for not only the rest of this video, but probably all of the pictures that you're going to see at the end of the video. So we'll just pop that ear out. I believe that we can just pull at it and it should come out. Oh boy, that is pretty tight in there, actually. Hold on, let me pry that bad boy off. I also don't want to, like, scratch the hair or the... Okay, pro tip. Take the head off the body and then put your fingernail under the bottom of the ear and it should come right off. That was the easiest that I could get it to remove. Definitely not too bad there. Let's go ahead and put the scouter on now. Not going to put it on like that. It should just be able to go right on his head like this, right over his eye. Almost said over his ear. This does feel like it's fitting a little bit weird on my copy here. But maybe it's just because I haven't gotten the right, like, setting for it yet. That can't be correct. Nope, that's a little bit better, for sure. That's definitely a little bit better. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that definitely looks better. Okay. It is very close to his face. I feel like with Nappa's scouter, it wasn't that close to his face. I feel like it was a little bit higher on his eyebrow, but that seems to be the spot that it is fitting in. I don't see on the edge there any, like, place where there's any space where I'm not pushing it in enough. I'm literally putting it as hard as I can. So yeah, that should be good right there. And then we'll just go ahead and bam. Obviously, if you do this more, right, when you put his head on more and more, this little peg and the connection that you put it on will become looser and looser. So if you do play with it a little bit, it should be a little bit easier to get. But there we go. That is the scouter on him. I will say on my copy, it actually does look a little bit weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not remembering this right, but I feel like it's a little bit higher up on his face. Let's take a look. Yeah, on the box, if we take a look on how it is on the box, that is definitely higher up on his face. It's like definitely covering a lot more of his eyebrow. It's not just the angle, by the way, that you're looking at it from, like this, right? It is most certainly definitely not covering enough of his eye. I wonder if maybe I could break it off of the peg and then like reattach it. It does kind of look like, I will say, it kind of almost looks like, if the camera will focus on that, it kind of looks like my peg sort of melted out of the proper position. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it does kind of look like my peg sort of melted a little bit, unless that's just the paint. But it almost looks like it wasn't supposed to be in this position, like it was supposed to be in a little bit of a different one. Obviously, I'm not going to try and break it and fix it on camera, because that would be, you know, definitely not a good sign, or a good move, rather. But I think just keeping it like that is fine for now. It definitely doesn't look too bad. I'll try and fix it off camera. Otherwise, maybe I just try and cop a different one. But overall, I do think that it looks really, really good, regardless of my scouter issues. I definitely think that his expression, fantastic. The style of the entire figure, fantastic. His actual facial structure in reference to where he's supposed to be from, great. The actual scouter itself, despite being a little bit misplaced, does look really good. The actual accessory, obviously the clear plastic that they use, is super nice. And it definitely is really cool that you can actually see the character's face under the scouter. I really, really like that. Alright, let's do some size comparisons. Of course, we have our two usual players, that being the Ichiban Kuji Gotenks and the WCF Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And you can see that obviously Vegeta is a really short figure. Funny enough, the Blue Goku is basically like half the size of him, and he just barely inches out Gotenks by the tip of his hair, which is sort of ironic considering that Gotenks is Super Saiyan 3. But even though this is a small figure, it definitely has a lot of presence. I think that this figure is very impactful, and it definitely makes me feel a lot of the feelings when I first saw Vegeta arrive on Earth with Nappa, right, in the Saiyan armor, crossing his arms, all pompous and being like, hey, I'm the best, I'm the strongest, you know? It definitely makes me sort of relive those memories of watching Dragon Ball Z as a kiddo, for sure. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the measurement. On camera, he looks to be about 9.5. However, if we get a little bit of a close-up here, it definitely looks like he's a little bit closer to 9, I think. It's kind of hard to tell, if I'm being honest. Yeah, no, maybe he is a little bit closer to 9. He's actually a little bit taller than I thought he was. Interesting. Yeah, no, definitely a little bit closer to 9.5, I would say. Obviously, again, like I say in every one of these videos, of course, the perspective that you have is a little bit skewed because, of course, you know, I'm filming this from a certain angle where when you're looking at it in comparison to the ruler, it kind of gives an optical illusion of a different size of height. But even though this guy is small, he is most certainly mighty, and we are going to take a look at another mighty boy here. That's right, actually himself, the WFC Saiyan Saga Vegeta. And obviously this one is the battle damage version from, of course, you know, during his fight with Goku. And both of these figures are really, really great. Obviously it is cool that we now have two Saiyan Saga Vegeta figures. And I have to say, funny enough, I think that these are the only two, at least in recent time, from Ben Presto, or at least that comes to mind for me. Except, actually, I forgot, we are getting a GALICK gun. I believe it is the GX Material line of Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga. So that is another Saiyan Saga Vegeta to add to the list. But obviously, that one comes with the effect part and whatnot. And the other figure is very old. Funny that it always seems like when we get a character that we haven't gotten for a long time in figure form, all of a sudden we get a bunch of figures of them. I don't know why Bandai decides to do it that way, but that is the move. Either way, these figures do look really great together, and I think they both capture that Saiyan Saga aesthetic pretty well, especially with the facial expression and the coloring on the figure. You can tell that the WFC version, the World Figure Coliseum one, definitely has a little bit more yellow on the armor plates than the sort of mustard brown-ish color that the Ichiban Kuji one does. I don't know if I prefer one over the other. I'd have to look at the original material to see which one sort of matches up, but I think they both do do a good job of representing it. And I definitely do like the blue on the Ichiban Kuji one a little bit more. And it's funny, usually I talk about how I like the hair a little bit more in one piece or like solid pieces, and it's kind of funny because the WFC one definitely does it a lot with the style of the specific sculptor who did it. But I actually like the hair on the Ichiban Kuji one a lot more, funny enough. Alright, but you are not here to see other figures that are not matched up with our boy. Of course, you know I had to bring him out. I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer. Of course, the figure that this figure is meant to be paired with, that being the Ichiban Kuji Nappa. Oh my gosh, look at these two lads. Oh man, that is really, really cool. That is easily a centerpiece of any collection. For sure. It is so cool to finally have both of these figures in hand, standing next to each other, ready to take on the Z Fighters. Really, really love the look of these guys. You can tell, too, that these figures were from the same line and sculpted by the same person as well. They definitely have a lot of the same personality to them and sculpting style. So cool. I will say, I do think, funny enough, that Vegeta is actually a little bit bigger than he should be compared to Nappa. I don't know if they did that just to make the figure a little bit more worth it, because obviously, it's kind of funny how these things sort of work, right? Nappa is $35 and Vegeta is $35, 35 to 36, but they're the same price, and obviously one is a lot bigger than the other. That's just sort of how things go with Bandai, so maybe they're just sort of compensating for Vegeta's height. That's kind of funny considering his Napoleon complex. But it's just interesting to me that he does seem to be a little bit bigger. But nonetheless, I do definitely like the size comparison between the two. Nappa is definitely a lot more bulky than Vegeta than he should be. Ironically enough, though, I think Vegeta's head is actually bigger than Nappa's head, which, I mean, I guess sort of fits both of the characters in personality and in actual looks. And of course, I do have to bring out another figure from this set. Don't worry, Nappa will be coming out to play in a minute because I will be giving you a couple of pictures of all three of them. But, of course, last time's review, the 3 times Kaioken Namek, well, not quite yet, the Saiyan Saga Goku, so technically Earth Goku, I guess. It's weird that we call him Namek Goku. We don't just call Goku like Earth Goku. I suppose it's because it's called the Namek Saga, right? Either way, these two figures look really, really cool together. Obviously, it is awesome to see Saiyan Saga Vegeta and Saiyan Saga Goku standing off, ready to face off. It is a little bit funny that they decided to do Kaioken Goku and not like Goku from the beginning of the fight with this set, because of course, you know, this is like right when Vegeta and Nappa arrive. I think Goku isn't even here by this point, right? When they obviously take up this pose, because of course, when Goku's fighting him, he is a lot more battle damaged, and I believe he doesn't have the Scouter on by this point. But either way, these figures do look fantastic together, and definitely a great representation of the Saiyan Saga for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am so excited that I finally own this Vegeta figure to almost complete the collection. Obviously, we have to take a look at Gohan, and then the collection will be complete. I'm going to completely ignore the Cybermen. Don't worry about me. If you would like to support this channel and future content on the unboxing side of things, you can go over to the Patreon. The Patreon is now dedicated to just the figure unboxing channel. Thank you guys so much for your support over there. And of course, please do not feel obligated. You just watching the videos is enough for me. And if you would like to pick up this figure for yourself, of course, I will leave a link or two in the description where you can do so. If you do cop it from the Amazon link, I do get a little bit of an extra cut with no extra cost to you. However, keep in mind, obviously, if this figure is being sold by a third-party seller and it's a little bit upcharged on Amazon, definitely don't get it. This figure is definitely worth the $30 price tag. However, I will tell you, maybe not necessarily in accordance with it being overcharged on Amazon, but you might have to pay a little bit more for this figure, because I know that this guy is actually really, really rare now on the Japanese side of things and over here in the West. I actually did get my copy from Big Bad Toy Store. Luckily enough, I pre-ordered him way, way back, and Amazon actually canceled my pre-order for the figure, ironically enough. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, though. Let me know your thoughts on this figure in the comments section below. And other than that, I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.